You're listening to Kaleidoscope here on 91.3 WYSO. Good evening. I'm Juliet Fromholt, your host from now until 11 o'clock. So very happy to be with you tonight and so excited to have tonight's guests in the studio. We've been playing their most recent release, most recent non-holiday release, Love Like You're Lonely, for quite a few weeks here on the show. And we are thrilled to have Scary Hotel in the studio. We're going to get to know them here in just a moment. But first, they've got some live ones for us. Take it away, guys.
Thank you. I want to find myself somewhere else. I want to see myself as anyone else. Keep my distance and then force you to find better ways to waste your time. I want to find myself somewhere else. I want to see myself as anyone else. Learn the proper way to build a home instead of finding spaces to messy strands got me breaking like a heart attack. Wish that I could see when I took my glasses off. Then I wouldn't waste my time fumbling through the dark, and I could see you. I could see you. Sometimes I still hope to find my watches on your wrist. Never got them back, but they're the proof I still exist. Remember moving forward with the changing of the time. I will do the same, and I don't think that you'll mind. I wish that I could see you when you took my glasses off. Then I wouldn't waste my time asleep when you were not, and I could see you. I could see you. Are they still on your wrist? Is it something you'll miss? Why don't we redo space from me to you? Why don't we redo space from me to you? Oh, you're unavoidable, an excuse for lack of control. Break the cycle of abuse. It's not your fault, don't choose to feel so on your own.
Scary Hotel, live on Kaleidoscope on 91.3 WYSO. Welcome, everybody.
Hey, thank you.
Hi. So happy to have you all here.
We are excited to be here.
Well, I'm glad we were able to do this. I love the album.
Oh, thank you.
Tell me a little bit about how this all got started, because it was my understanding that this was originally a band of one,
Yes.
aka a solo project.
Yeah, pretty much. So I had this project when I was living in South Carolina. It was a bedroom dream. I was actually playing with a bunch of other guys in a band called Go Small down there, and I always said that I was going to leave and start my own band, but I'm not creative enough to come up with my own name. So Scary Hotel is just a derivative of that.
Nice.
Yeah, and then I moved up here, and just through the fates and lining, I managed to run into Kurt, who was drumming for Enzo at the time. That was really awesome. Sean's my IT guy at work, so he, I met him through work, and then Logan just kind of showed up at a certain point.
I showed up.
Yeah, just started wandering in and singing. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm like, you're here now.
So did you know, as you sort of gathered these individuals together, was it just kind of like, oh, I'm gonna play with these people and we'll see what happens, or did you know, like, oh no, this is my band?
Sort of both. So
Yeah.
Sean's got a really funny story about.
So basically, he came up chasing a girl at work to
Makes
the
sense.
IT shop, and I was wearing.
Surprise, surprise.
I know, right?
As you do.
As one
I was
does.
wearing a Biffy Clyro hoodie, and he came in and was like, I like that band. And I was like, you're the only person who knows who this is.
And then we didn't
other
speak for
than
3
me.
months.
And then we didn't talk for 3 months. And then he came up randomly to the IT desk for something else and was like, hey, do you know any drummers? And I went, me? Like, yeah? He's like, I thought you played guitar. I was like, I do that too. But like, I'm primarily a drummer. He's like, oh. And he sent me a demo for Big Waves, one of our songs. And I was like, yeah, I'll do this. And he just kind of grabbed a bass player out of nowhere who is currently not here.
Yeah,
well, Kurt is, but our second guitar player.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that was pretty much basically said, you're going to do this now because I don't know any other drummers that are available. So.
Yeah, so we just kind of kicked it off from there and started playing as a 3-piece and then added Kurt on bass and Logan on keys and went from there.
Fantastic. So how far into playing together with this iteration, this grouping of people, did you decide to then start recording?
Day 1, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of the songs on the record I kind of had just around. They were just waiting to be given a full band life. I think the first 3 demos I sent you ended up
on the album.
Yeah, on the record. And I was really excited to get a more collaborative effort in because it's kind of exhausting when you're just like writing in a vacuum. Because everything starts out as like the greatest thing you've ever written, and then 45 minutes later, after listening to it, you're like, I am the worst musician in the face of the earth.
You go through the entire range of emotions.
Yeah, exactly. And then nothing ever gets done. So it's nice having these guys around to give me that ear and go, no, that's worth pursuing. So it just kind of happened naturally. I'd always wanted to do a full-length record, and then these guys were around to do it, and I was like, hey, do you want to do it? And they were like, yeah. So
yeah, let's keep doing this.
Exactly. Yeah.
What is it like to, have worked on these songs by yourself kind of in that vacuum and to get into a studio and to start to hear them come to life with all of these other musicians, putting their take on the songs and adding different layers to the songs? What has that been like for you?
Remarkably humbling, because when I was doing the first EP, it was mostly me and a couple close friends, but it was all kind of my vision. I wrote all the parts and just had people that were better than me play them, and it was like, okay, cool. I'm like, this is what I've been hearing in my bedroom the whole time. But now there's new and fresh ideas. So like watching Sean track 10 songs in a day and just do it flawlessly, I was like, all right, cool. That's one less thing I have to do. But also, there's a different energy about it too.
But also, we paid for 2 days.
Yeah.
So,
so
now what are we gonna do?
We had to figure that out. But yeah, no, it's been really great, and now I don't feel like there's as much pressure on me to kind of create as much, which is really nice, and it's kind of opened myself up to like focus solely on the songwriting aspect of it, which I really love.
Has the songwriting, especially kind of since you all went into the studio, has it become a little more collaborative? Like, are you able to sort of bring things half finished or in a state of infancy to the rest of the band and say, here, let's roll with this?
That is exactly what we do, actually. It's kind of my favorite thing. So I now don't have to like flesh out songs. I mean, I love doing it, but now if I have a little chord change, some lyrics, I literally these guys all come over and I just play it for them. And then it's kind of like a 1-by-1 thing. We're like, all right, Sean does what he's going to do with it. And then while Sean's doing it, Kurt's usually out in the hallway, just writing his bass part, and comes in with something totally fleshed out and perfect every time. And then I give the lyric sheet to Logan, and she goes, I can't read your handwriting. What does it say? And then I translate my handwriting for her, and then she kind of sings over it and keys it up.
I love it. Logan, I'm curious, singing those harmonies. Is that something that you've been doing for a long time? Like, did you come up singing harmonies? Because I find that people that can do it well, the way you can, really kind of have that in them from a very early age.
I mean, I've been singing since forever. Since I was a little kid, I remember singing with my dad in church. But I usually was the main part. But as growing up and being involved in choruses and such, I would sing harmonies. And I just cling on to harmonies in songs in general. And I guess I realize that now as I'm listening to the radio or my favorite songs, and I always sing the harmony. So I guess I've been doing it, just not realizing that I have been. So I guess just pretty naturally, yeah, I cling to that.
That's awesome. It's so much fun. Vocally, the two of you like fit so well together. Was that something that kind of clicked right away as you started singing together?
I guess in a way.
I would say, yeah.
It's
gotten better over time, 100%. At first, we both had to figure out our tones and how to fit with each other. But now I feel like it's just, it fits in, it really clicks super well.
That's a really nice way of her saying I had to learn how to sing better. But yeah, we got it figured out. So
Nice. So, in addition to the full-length album, you all did a little holiday EP. Tell me a little bit about that. I love it when local bands do that. Not just selfishly because it gives me something like new and interesting to play at the holidays, but I always think it's fun to kind of hear, what people are doing in that realm of music.
well, one of my favorite pastimes is drinking whiskey straight out of the bottle and making music. So it just became this really dumb idea that we had at the Smoke Pit.
Yeah.
And then the more we thought about it, we're like, but what if? Like,
Yeah.
for real.
But what if we really did it?
Yeah, but
And
like
then
only if you're into it. I mean, you're into it too? And
I
then,
feel like
yeah.
at some point somebody went, we could call it a scary Christmas, and everybody went, yeah, okay,
Yeah,
we're doing
that's
this.
it.
It has to be a thing
Now we have to.
now. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's funny. I feel like for many of the bands that I've interviewed that have done holiday releases, it was very much that similar process of, can we? Should we? We can.
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
So it is a relatively new year. You've got the full length out. What are your plans for 2020?
Play with as many of our friends as possible. We just like playing. We're kind of doing it for the love of it. So we just love playing shows, and we got a few things in the works. For some reason, when you put something out, you're just inspired to write a lot more. Even though you now have this wealth of material, you just want more. So we're still writing. We got a couple things coming up in the near future. We're trying to get out of Dayton a little bit more. Not that we don't love Dayton, but we just want to kind of see where we end up on the road, like Columbus, Cincinnati, all those regional markets. Kind of see how we do.
If people want to get their hands on the album and find out more about where you're going to be, especially coming to a city near our farther flung listeners, where should they keep tabs on you all?
ScareHotelMusic.com
Yep.
is the new website that we finally got together. Thanks Kurt and Sean for doing all the work. That was awesome. And then we also have, Scare Hotel on Facebook, Scare Hotel on Instagram, if you want to see just a bunch of Instagram stories of us hanging out in my house with my dog. And then we're on all major streaming platforms as well. So Spotify, Apple Music, Napster. We're on Napster.
That's still a thing?
I didn't know that, but it is.
Okay.
So if you guys
So
are on
we're on
Napster,
it.
we're on it. And then also if you see us out, like I always forget the merch box, so I've just started leaving it in my car just in case. So if you see me on the street, I'll sell you a CD.
Except for right now, in which case it's in my garage.
Yeah, because I didn't drive, so
Yeah, pretty
we
much.
forgot the merch box again.
So any other time but now.
Exactly. Right?
Don't come to the station asking for
Yeah.
a CD. 'cause-
Fair enough. That's what streaming platforms are.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Are for.